time for Overrated or Underrated here on Canucks Central. We've got producers Elon and intern Ryan with us today. Elon's going to give us the overrated, underrated topics. You choose it. Well, you send them in, and then we choose if they're overrated or underrated or perfectly rated.
Yeah, Elon's making his debut on Overrated, Underrated.
That's right.
Hey guys, we're coming in hot. Kraken are doing well. So Tora asks, Canucks Nation having any feelings of embarrassment, resentment, anger about where the Kraken are compared to the Canucks?
Ooh. You know what? Underrated.
Underrated? Why?
It's good to feel that way.
So you want Canucks fans to be angry that the Kraken are better than they are
Yeah,
right
you
now?
should be. You should be resentful.
Yeah.
You should not like the Kraken. I don't mean it in like a crazy way or anything. All I'm saying is it's good to have a rivalry with the Seattle Kraken. And for you to dislike the Kraken and be upset that they're doing well is a good thing. Like I said before, and I get people, there's the Seattle Seahawks and the Mariners, and people like a lot of those teams and everything like that. But if you're a Canucks fan, I'm not, hey, fan any way you want. Yeah. But I want to see the hatred between the two teams and the fan bases.
I don't know. For me, it's kind of overrated. You don't need the Kraken to be in the playoffs to tell you that the Canucks haven't been good enough for the last 5 years. 5 years, last 10 years, really. So, I mean, you should have had these feelings before the Kraken even were a thing, before they were even born. Before they even had an expansion draft.
Should despise them on sight.
Yes. Just continue to be angry that the Canucks aren't good enough.
Yeah. Raymond says, we hate our own franchise too much to hate Seattle.
Exactly, Raymond. For once, we agree. All right, next.
Austin and Langley, expensive rentals for the playoffs.
Oh, man. Big O?
Yeah.
Big overrated.
Big overrated. New York Rangers fans certainly feel that way right now.
Rangers.
Patrick Kane.
Rangers do. Patrick Kane, Vlad Tarasenko gave up, what they did to get those players.
The Kings with Korpisalo and Gavrikov.
Yeah.
Got them literally the same. Got them as far as they've gotten before in the Stanley Cup
Korpisalo was good for a while, and then the roof caved in after a while. Because he's good, but it's you can't, he's not he wasn't the answer.
Part of me is yeah, but I don't know. Isn't there a point where you just shrug your shoulders? It's yeah, Oilers,
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Leon Draisaitl, he's kind of good.
Yeah.
There's only so much I can do about that. Because it works both ways. Even Boston. They had Orlov, Hathaway, and Tyler Bertuzzi.
Give up a lot. I mean, look at the Islanders. Traded for Bo Horvat. Now, the difference there is they have him locked up long term. Now, some Islanders fans are saying they wish he wasn't. But, we'll see how that goes in the next little bit. But, yeah, all the big acquisitions, most of the big ones, they didn't quite work out. You know how many trades the Panthers made at the deadline? 0. None. Not a single trade.
They didn't sell or buy.
They didn't make a single trade in the new year.
Well, after everything they did last year, they were you know what? This is overrated.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's good to get a little help here and there. If you have a massive hole, right? If you have a hole down the middle, you need somebody in your third line. You're missing somebody like that. Yeah, you have to go and get a replacement, cheaper type of player. The Canucks in 2011, Chris Higgins and Maxim Lapierre.
Yeah.
Both those guys didn't give up a lot, but they helped out huge, especially when Manny Malhotra went down. They needed to have that depth. They helped out in a big way. Depth pieces help. Big moves, usually not, unless you're making a hockey deal. It worked out for the Devils so far. Now, Myers not playing in this game, first game. He helped them in the first round. He's going to sign long-term most likely. He has another year. He has control beyond this season. That one looks to have worked out or helping so far. But it has to be somebody who has to fit in long-term if you're going big.
It's easy to say overrated because ultimately one team wins the cup, right? And if you don't end up winning the cup, you're going to be well, all those moves we made at the deadline were for nothing.
Yeah.
But what are you supposed to do? Not try? To me...
the Leafs getting Ryan O'Reilly made a lot of sense.
Right. In other years, they spent a bunch on guys like Foligno and whatever. And, it's at the end of the day, it's still more about getting the right pieces for your team than it is anything else. I'm not going to say it's overrated. I can't say that it's overrated.
I think it is because I think most deals don't work out the way they were intended.
Sad, I wanted to point out, you said depth rentals. What about a couple of Rutherford pickups with the old Penguins? They got Hainsey, they got Hagelin. That worked out for them.
They helped. Yeah, absolutely. That's another good point.
Rutherford didn't make it. He didn't miss for like a whole year and a half with the
I know,
Penguins.
it was ridiculous.
Every move he made was just a stroke of genius. Good point. All right, next.
Dylan, home ice advantage in the playoffs. In the last 10 games, the home team is 2-8.
Yeah,
It's clearly overrated.
it is over. I mean, I think generally in hockey, it's very close to 50-50.
Yeah.
Home or away. Like there isn't a huge advantage being on home ice. I think it goes down to the randomness of hockey in
Yeah.
general.
Well, these teams are so close now. I don't know. Certain teams have more success on home ice, but watching the Leafs on home ice this year, they're like scared.
Yeah,
When they're at home, they're like
they're
they
terrified.
cave under the pressure of
Yeah.
being at home. Reminds me of the Raptors, how they would lose all those game ones. Like, oh, we're excited for the Raptors again this year. Dud.
Dud first game
You know,
was terrible.
DeRozan goes 2 for 17
Yeah.
in the half.
Kyle Lowry,
The Raptors getting blown up by 27.
and then they win the next game by 32.
Yeah, it's just like something about it. Like for Toronto, they definitely seem to play worse on home ice. I think there is maybe an added pressure. You want to excite your home fans, whatever it might be. Even just look at the Canucks and their home record in the regular season the last couple of years has been mostly dreadful. And we've asked a bunch of questions why, and coaches kind of, they don't tell you everything, but they sort of hint at sometimes you get a little too comfortable at home and you know, you kind of get off rhythm. You have too many responsibilities at home. It's like, what is this?
Spending too much time with your family. It's like, what?
Just do your job.
Well, sometimes you heard the stories back in the day, and I guess it happens every once in a while now still, where the home team will stay at a hotel, still
Yeah.
at home, because they're like, we want to get rid of all the distractions.
I know a lot of teams that do that. A lot of NFL teams do that.
Yeah.
It's almost like a blanket sort of policy for a lot of teams. When I covered Toronto FC, they did that
Yeah.
actually. Like
On
when
home,
they had big games, they would stay at the Ritz downtown Toronto.
At the Ritz.
It's like not every MLS team is doing this, that's for sure.
You know.
All right.
Some are staying at the Holiday Inn.
Yeah, a couple NFL teams do that as well, like the
Yeah.
Raiders. They
The
all stay at a
Saints do
hotel
it.
the
But
night
like
before.
Sean Payton's a big. Everybody's at the hotel the night before.
See, I think that's
We're getting right.
underrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Marcus in Gibson's.
no fun stuff before game day.
No.
Yeah, tough in Vegas, too. Marcus and Gibson's. Gerard Gallant.
Oh. It's probably overrated, hey?
Yeah.
Like, he's a good coach. He's had a lot of success. But not ultimate. Is he the new Alain Vigneault?
So last year, Rangers go to what? Eastern Conference Final? And everybody's like, wow, look at this team punching above their weight. Great run by the New York Rangers. Now this year they fall short to a team that finished higher than them in the standings. And it's like, wow, what a terrible first round exit by the New York Rangers. Is this just because they got Tarasenko and Patrick Kane? Like, were people not realistic about what Patrick Kane is at this stage of his career?
Well, no, for sure. But still, I mean, the way they went down in Game 7. Like that, so Gallant, the thing about him
The way
is,
they lost a few of those games.
well, that's the problem. And
Yeah.
especially for a guy like him who's supposed to be the taskmaster as well, right? It's like, hey, at the very least, we always show up. And when they don't respond to that, that's a problem.
He's not known as an X's and O's
No.
guy, but
Get you
you're
going
supposed
guy.
to be like, going through a wall for that guy.
Yeah, and he certainly, it looks like he's kind of lost it. Same thing that happened with the Vegas Golden Knights too, right? That's why he ended up ultimately getting let go. It seemed like that relationship with the players really fell apart.
He's a 2 to 3 year time period guy.
Yeah, looks like it. I think they'd be doing themselves a disservice coming back with him next year.
So he's a quick fix guy.
Yeah, I think Vigneault was, but Vigneault had a lot more success. But he has won a Jack Adams, and I think that,
End of the day, I think your coaching record sort of speaks to who you are, and I would say Gallant's been pretty good in his last couple of gigs in the overall,
yes.
but he's almost got a little bit of a Bruce Boudreau type of, we like this guy in the regular season, but when we get to the playoffs, we don't like it as much.
Not enough adjustments.
Yeah. Next.
Munn asked, outdoor viewing parties for playoff games.
Overrated. I not for me, man. Like, this reminds me of New Year's Eve at Times Square. Like, you wearing a diaper to go to a New Year's Eve party at Times Square? You wearing a diaper to watch Game 6 at Maple Leaf Square or whatever they want to call it?
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park during a Raptors game. You know, that's tough. I don't know if I could do that. You see the crowds in Edmonton around Rogers Place?
Well, you see the one there was the something pit or whatever. They broke through the barrier and knocked down security. It's like, you're that eager to be in a crowd of people? That sounds like a nightmare to me.
Yes.
Be stuck in a massive crowd of like thousands of people.
I need space, man.
No, I'm good.